Learning is supposed to be engaging and fun. It's so difficult. When he was in 3rd grade, trying to get him to complete his math work was like pulling out his teeth. I'm a working mom, I have 2 kids. I get home, it's already 5, 6 o'clock. Trying to get dinner on the table, and they're sitting there trying to do their homework, and he's like, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, I don't even have time to argue with you.
School is important because it's a way for a child to learn to use their mind to solve problems and handle challenges. But sometimes kids are struggling because they don't understand something or something hasn't been explained well enough.
He's really smart in his own right in so many ways, but learning in a traditional classroom environment's always been really hard for him.
She's just always struggled with school.
Yeah.
She's always been very intelligent, but the school environment has been very hard for her.
When I'm speaking to a child about they're struggling in school, the first thing I'm gonna do is listen. And I really listen and not interject with, but you need to study more, and you don't do this, and you don't do that. When we're listening and we're curious about what a child says, then we can start to make a plan for how to get support.
Over time, I had to figure out a way to deal with it better because I was so frustrated. I was so overwhelmed. And once I learned how to change my tone and I just had more, I guess, meditating, I was able to handle him more like tenderly because before I was just so frustrated. And so I really had to learn to talk to him in a very different way that wouldn't get him too riled up.
When a child is struggling in school, it can really affect their self-esteem. You want to be patient with them, praise them for all the efforts that they're making. When you can see that they're trying really hard, that they're making strides, you want to praise that, reinforce that.
She really just clicked into that this last year of, turns out, if I work hard, if I even just like do my homework and study a little bit, I will do well, which was just sort of a revelation for her. And we were just on the sidelines like, yay!
So it's like, I don't catch these concepts like as quick. So for me, I have to study a little harder and I have to do a little bit more just to wrap my head around it.
Schoolwork is not, it's not optional for your child. One of the biggest things that parents can do to help kids do well in school is to emphasize that it's important early on. So that is establishing a routine, coming home from school and immediately starting homework before you do anything else, making sure that homework is done before there are any fun activities or social activities.
Having a clear workspace, having a distraction-free environment as much as possible, that allows them to really focus on their activities.
Sadly, this day and age, the computers are a requirement for this generation of students. And I hate to say it, but I kind of resent it a little bit because they're easily distracted by lights and something going colors and stuff like that. I couldn't turn my back for a second because as soon as I left, boom, he's on whatever that site that's just a little more entertaining than homework.
I think it's absolutely the case that when parents show an interest in learning, kids also feel interested in learning.
It's also really important that when parents identify maybe a subject or some kind of part of a subject that a child is interested in, that you really support that and that you will let them cultivate that interest.
Being curious about the world, wanting to learn new things, all of that encourages kids to do the same thing. Kids respond to what parents are identifying as being valuable. They have a love of learning. That's really, I think, important.
I'm bringing in blocks. I'm bringing in manipulatives. I'm running out to the garage looking for foam pieces. I'm bringing in big paper and markers and, putting out beans. And that would make it a little more fun for him, just being able to touch.
Occasionally, a child might have a struggle that's more profound than other kids. The school has a responsibility to understand and figure out why that struggle's happening.
You want to be really assertive and meet with the teachers, talk to them early on, talk to them about what you see are the needs of your child, and they need to help talk to you about what they're seeing as well. And together there needs to be some kind of plan that they put into place.
We knew already those first 3 years of elementary that he was a little behind and struggling.
We had a parent-teacher conference. His mom and I met with the teacher and said, this is what's going on with Jack. Are you seeing, Jack bored in class when you're doing math?
And they right away was like, let's get it started. And they gave us special tutoring for him if he needed it. You know, he met with the speech therapist and also had met with the school psychologist, just check in with him to see how he was doing.
She said yes, and I've talked to him about some ways that we can keep him more challenged. And so she began giving him, in addition to the lesson problems, she gave him his own set of math problems. So Jack felt a little special, but he also was being met where he was.
Once he got that special help, I mean, that's all he needed. He's been in the same grade with his same peers, throughout, and has been able to be successful in school.
It's really normal for parents to have these grand visions for their children. And so when their child might struggle with a particular subject at school, they might start to think, well, now Johnny's not going to be an engineer. Oh my God, right? Like, this is ruining my plan. This period of time when they are still in school, this is when you want to see the ups and downs. This is when we can learn about their strengths, learn about what their struggles are so we can support them.
First person gets the 8. I think he's trying a lot more than he did last year. And so that's my conversation with him all the time is just don't give up. Just keep trying.